going, Richard? Richard, where are you going, man? Richard!
You won't believe what you're missing in D.C. right now. 200 Dreamers arrested on the steps of the Capitol, and Antifa and Richard Spencer go head-to-head, this time at the White House. This is Protester Game Day. Welcome to Protester Game Day. This is Philip Stuckey with the Daily Caller News Foundation.
And this is Henry Rogers with the Daily Caller News Foundation.
And let's get right to it.
So we had quite a busy week here. Sunday, we were in front of the White House covering a protest with Richard Spencer and some white nationalists versus Antifa. Let's cut to that clip.
Hundreds of people here, as you can see, in front of the White House. And here you can see the group of Richard Spencers. I don't even know what to call them. White supremacists, alt-right. Some people are calling them Nazis right now. I mean, I don't know. It's these groups of people. You can see they're waving flags around. And I guess they're going to try to get their message across here. But there's a lot of police, folks, a lot of police. The police are coming in hot, and they're coming in by the second. I guess they're gonna try to get in between these two groups and form a line so that there can be no violence in front of the White House. Again, this is a very, very interesting place to have a rally with these two groups. He's probably going to be speaking here in a couple minutes, and his message is not clear, but it will have something to do with what he's calling Kate's Wall. It's kind of hard to hear what he's saying because of the volume coming from these Antifa members. I mean, they're screaming. Listen to this, folks. So here you go. There's no violence going on yet. No violence going on yet, but there is a straight shouting match going on here. I mean, people are angry. People are angry. Richard Spencer's kind of, hiding behind his friends here, and it's just kind of a shouting match. That's really what's going on. It's just a shouting match. The left is not listening to the right, and it's just kind of signs and waving.
Heather Heyer! You killed 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 Heather Heyer! Francis was noting! Heather Heyer was 32 years old when one of their people over there rammed their car into a crowd that was anti-racist. She was 32 years old. Guess who else was 32 years old? Kate Stemley. That's the person who they're saying that we're somehow protesting against right now. They say build Kate's Wall. They think that just because an immigrant was involved in a court case, he was found not guilty, by the way.
It's just a screaming war right now. That's really what it is. Look at this, folks. So we have a big sign here. I think it says anti-fascism, anti-white supremacy. A lot of those signs. I mean, imagine just some of the tourists here.
Cops and Klan go hand in hand. Cops and Klan go hand in hand.
In front of the White House. Something's going on. You can see the groups are moving. Uh-oh. All right, so they're saying bye. Everyone's waving. Give them a kiss. They're on a move. They're on the move. Look at this, folks. We're going to try to follow this group. I'm going to chase these guys down, and I'm going to... Here we are. Here we are. Here we are. So I'm just going to continue to follow these guys. We're going to walk down here. This is the police are telling us to. They're telling us to back up. They're not gonna let us get close to these guys. But where are they walking to? That's the question. Where are these guys planning on going? And Richard Spencer is somewhere in the middle of this group here. Look at her. She's back. She's flipping the bird. We've seen her at a couple of protests. She pops up and just kind of gives her 2 cents in on the bike. Always on a bike and always unhappy. Something looks like it's going on here, folks. This is weird. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh, there's Richard Spencer. Let's see if we can talk.
Where you going, Richard? Where you going, Richard? Richard, where you going, man? Richard, where you going? Huh?
So folks, that was Sunday where a group of Antifa members and Richard Spencer and his white supremacist friends and white nationalist friends gathered in front of the White House. Now I'm passing it off to Philip Stuckey.
Thanks, Henry. And of course, next immediately after that, of course, we had Wednesday where 15,000 Dreamers came to Capitol Hill. And now these were people that were bussed in by several unions led by the SEIU, that's Service Employees International Union. Now, of course, ultimately leading in the arrest of 200 Dreamers that volunteered to be arrested. Here's a clip.
This is Philip Stuckey with the Daily Caller News Foundation, and we are coming to you live from the Upper Senate Park. Now, what that means is that the Capitol building is directly behind me here, and if you'll hear me, actually, we have quite a number of protesters here behind me. We are moments away from hundreds of forced arrests on the part of this group here. Now, this is several unions from New York City. In New York State, we have the SEIU, the Service Employees International.
United States Capitol Police, you are demonstrating in a non-permitted area. Do not leave this area. You will be subject to arrest. This is your first warning.
So that is now the first warning. Capitol Hill Police operate in a 3-warning structure before they begin arrests. So these people have one more warning before they get their third and final. There's the first warning here.
No fear. Immigrants are welcome here. No hate. No fear. Spencer Belknap with the United States Capitol Police. No fear. You are demonstrating in a non-permitted area.
This is now the third and final warning coming up before arrests begin for standing on the steps of the Capitol. This is the final warning. We are on the streets of the Capitol here. The open doors are right there. It looks like we have one particular officer on Overwatch there. Do I need to leave now? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now we are been moved off the steps now because anybody basically essentially remaining on the steps will be arrested. I repeat, anybody remaining on the steps past this next point will be arrested. So the Capitol Hill Police have now closed off this area. Essentially what you're seeing an entire line of police officers right here. This area that I'm standing in now is now closed because they will begin arresting the individuals. So now those are the individuals that are currently being lined up and arrested here. We have a large number of people here.
Pretty significant. Here, come on out. You're right in our. How about you? Just right over. Yeah. No fear. Immigrants are welcome here. No hate. No fear. Immigrants are welcome here. No hate.
So, ma'am, why are you out here today?
What was that again?
Why are you out here today?
Because we need a clean dream match.
Really? Why?
I don't know, I'm not impressed with your outlet.
Oh, really? Well, hopefully you're impressed with me.
I don't know, I don't really know you.
Okay.
He was going like this and then you went. No, I saw it here. I didn't even move.
that was simply incredible experience. I mean, first of all, that there would be that many people there to protest, Donald Trump and Republican stance on DACA and the fact that there hasn't been a bill yet, but the fact that there was 200 arrests made, but everybody went home. So what happened?
Not a whole lot. We did a lot of chanting, and then we got out of there. Yeah, we were all holding photos of people who were being affected by this right now. My understanding is that there are people who are DACA or TPS holders who will lose their status.
Well, y'all are walking away. I guess so. What happened?
We got a little arrested.
I mean, we were here for to do what was the right thing, and to ask Congress to do the right thing, to really come up with a clean DREAM Act, to support immigrants, support immigrant rights, and it was just amazing to be with all these thousands of people, many of them undocumented themselves, and not afraid.
I noticed that you were one of the people that actually got arrested and processed and everything?
Yes, yes. And one of the lucky ones to get processed fairly soon, because look at all the
there's a long line. It doesn't look like they were that prepared for it.
Yeah, they're always a little incompetent here, in my opinion. They have to write everything down longhand. It takes quite a while. But they're all very good spirits, all the arresting officers. They really worked that really well. And yeah, we had a lot of people arrested.
Good. All right.
Good action, all in all.
First of all, I mean, it's incredible that all these people, all they did was got a yellow slip written, a little slap on the wrist, $50 fine, and just completely just went along their way. But of course, the next day we were supposed to have nationwide protests against Verizon for net neutrality. But the problem is that all the professional protesters went home that day, and we went on the scene where only 3 protesters showed up.
So I gotta ask a question. If a GPI was standing right here, what would you say to him?
Just basically keep your hands off our internet.
There you go.
Everyone uses the internet, libraries, hospitals, and everything. And I've already read a couple of articles about how millennials are pretty much the only thing keeping libraries alive because we don't have the money to do things on our own. And so if they take away the internet and make everybody pay for it, libraries are going to tank, and then there's going to be more articles about how lazy millennials are because now we can't go somewhere to try to find a job.
So one of the most annoying things about covering protesters is the fact that, honestly, surprisingly, despite the fact that they send out press releases, despite the fact that they beg people to show up, they actually don't like being reported on. In fact, we actually have about 3 tales, give or take, on a particular protest here, and you'll see on one particular clip here where we had multiple people following us around, demanding that people don't speak with us.
So how'd it go, folks? How'd it go? So what'd y'all think about everything? What'd y'all think about everything?
Whatever you want, but...
What'd y'all think?
This was a right-wing newspaper, the Daily Caller, so I went...
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks, Kim. Yeah. Bye.
So Kim, were you arrested? What'd you think about the whole experience? I guess that's a no comment. He got a little arrested.
Talk to him. Daily Caller, don't even talk to him.
So I didn't notice. Didn't see anybody actually got handcuffed. Did y'all get handcuffed? Any comment or anything?
I don't know who you are.
So folks, Friday we were in front of the White House where a pro-Palestine group was yelling at Donald Trump in front of the White House about his decision Thursday to make Jerusalem the capital of Israel. Let's check this out. What's your sign say, sir?
Trump and Israel, the hands off Palestine.
Now, what brings you here today?
I bring me here today my support for my Palestinian people, support my brothers and sisters over in Palestine, and that I'm going to fight for Jerusalem to be the capital of Palestine. And Donald Trump can go to hell.
What's your problem with Donald Trump?
He's a fat racist.
Palestine will be free.
He's a fat racist. Anybody else disagree with that? They're racist too.
How you doing? What brings you here today?
I prefer not to talk.
Thank you.
He's a racist. That was a black racist.
He's racist, yeah, but it's not
I'm not about this ain't about weight shaming. It's about shaming.
The occupation got to go, hey, hey! Ho, ho! The occupation got to go, hey, hey! Ho, ho! The occupation got to go, hey, hey! Ho, ho!
Now, what's white shaming?
Weight shaming.
Weight shaming.
Ho, ho!
What are you, Richard Spencer?
We're free in Jerusalem. Jerusalem is not for Israel.
Occupation
It's for Palestine. What separated you from the group then?
Justice now!
Oh, he was talking to me. So you've been screaming some stuff that the other people haven't been screaming. What have you been screaming? Allah will save us. Allah is with us. Now, why have they been asking you not to say that?
No, nobody did ask him that.
So what was the problem?
Nobody said
follow the microphone.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's bring it back to the key issue here. Do you think President Trump is wrong for making this decision?
Yes, he's wrong. Jerusalem is not his. It's not his. Is it Donald Trump? Is that land for Donald Trump to choose from whoever he wants to give it to? It's not his. He can't give it to Israel. It's not his. It's for Palestine. It's Palestine capital. Jerusalem is for Palestine. He can't just be like, oh, okay, Jerusalem is for Israel. It's not his. He's the president of the United States of America, not Palestine. It's not his to choose.
So if you had a message to say to President Trump today, if you saw President Trump right now, what would you say to him?
Get the fuck out of Palestine and leave it alone.
Donald Trump, you will see! Donald Trump, you will see! Palestine will be free! Palestine will be free!
From Tel Aviv to D.C.
From Tel Aviv to D.C.
Human rights and dignity.
Human rights and dignity!
From Tel Aviv to D.C.
From Tel Aviv till D.C.
Don't move the embassy.
Don't move the embassy!
From
No walls, no bans, no embassy on stolen land!
no walls, no bans, no embassy on stolen land.
No walls, no bans, no embassy on stolen land!
No bans, no walls. Jerusalem for all.
No bans, no walls, Jerusalem for all!
Freedom, freedom,
Freedom, freedom! Freedom, freedom!
That's not the main case. The main case is for Israelis to get out of Palestine. That's the main case.
So would you suggest that they kind of provide a stronger message?
Yes.
Okay. All right. How are we going to do that? Are you guys going to kind of start your own group right here?
Yes.
Yeah? Is that what your plans are?
That's what I'm planning.
Okay. All right.
Well, Henry, that was an incredible week so far. That is everything you missed this week in DC protests. This is Philip Stuckey of the Daily Caller News Foundation.
Henry Rogers with the Daily Caller News Foundation.
Be sure to always check back here for all the craziness happening in DC.